Hey, welcome back, guys. Mondo here. Right now I'm gonna talk to you about how big the graffiti culture has gotten. It's big now. Like, now they don't have spots just, where before they were tagged and you would like run with your backpack. Not that I've ever done that before in my life. But make sure now to catch this, because there's actually places now where you can go and do your own graffiti and you don't have to run anymore from the cops or whatever. So go check this out. These artistic Latinos. Check out our graffiti segment.
I was doing this before I even knew it was graffiti. I grew up with hip hop, so I used to always draw my name coming out of the brick windows and over the city. Until somebody told me, "Oh, you're a tagger." I'm like, "What's tagger? What's graffiti?" That. I'm like, "Okay, I guess I am."
In the early days of graffiti, it had actually been looked upon as an illegal activity, not just here in America, but also all over the world. What people failed to realize was that the underground art form was actually an expression of culture and even a political statement on some occasions. Today, it's mostly associated with the culture of hip hop that began in New York City back in the 1970s.
As a kid, and I got to see it. I got the chance to actually see, when, everything started coming over here,
From where?
From the East Coast, breakdancing, the whole hip hop scene, come over, have its influence over here. I got to see, a lot of the changes and stuff. My family's from East LA, so, we had a lot of the East LA murals, all the Chicano murals. Once you go throughout East LA, you get a story of the people, and what they've been through and the struggles that they're going through. So we got that, but then when you mix hip hop into it, that's where everything starts colliding with each other and starts interweaving.
Graffiti has not only grown in popularity, it's also grown in quality. It's no longer just about putting your name up there. You have to have the right tools to get your piece looking just right.
The majority of the paint we use today, it's all imported from Spain. The quality of the paint, the pressure in the paint, it's not watered down like a lot of the American paint. Tips also también, it depends, it depends on the type of tip that you put on it. It depends on the type of line that you get coming out of the paint. Some tips get you big fat lines, some get you real small skinny lines. It also depends on the artist if they know how to use it.
Eventually, the underground movement became mainstream. So much so that there are even places now where you can do it legally. But that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who still want to keep it old school.
They've been onto everything, they've had their task forces in the past, and we found our ways around it, and it's kind of like hacking on computers, Once they try to figure out how the hackers do it, the hackers get better at it.
It gets worse every year, all these new laws trying to make everything so hard. After it passes like a certain amount of money, which is almost like, I think, $2,000, they make it a felony. That's, you don't get to pass go, you don't get $200, you go straight to jail. And I'm kind of old to be doing it illegally, so we have legal spots that we have.
Nowadays, graffiti is bigger than ever before, attracting people from all walks of life, nationalities, and socioeconomic classes. Graffiti is an art form that is definitely here to stay.
Aquí de regreso a LATV Central. Oye, remember to email us, central@latv.com. We would love to hear about you, qué te gusta, qué no te gusta y qué quieres ver aquí en LATV Central, por supuesto que tu programa favorito. And hey guys, Rabanes is awesome, and guess what? We sat down with them a little while ago and got the scoop on their new album, Kamikaze. Check out this preview of the clip that's upcoming later.
¿Por qué estos elementos se regresan a sus raíces como Rabanes?
Bueno, mira, baby, nosotros estuvimos haciendo muchos experimentos musicales. Nosotros hemos sido un grupo avant-garde en lo que es la fusión musical. Entonces, después de tanto tiempo de hacer muchos arreglos con trompetas, percusiones, de haber girado por España, haber aprendido muchas cosas ya de música mestiza, nos sentimos un poco como cansados, abombados de tanta...
So that was just an upcoming attraction of what we'll see later in the show con los Rabanes. But on a more serious note, up next, we delve into the subject of eating disorders in the media. We talk to experts to see how the images we see every day are affecting young women and their self-image. This is really important, so stay tuned because we know this information is going to be very valuable for you.
The appearance of waif-like models in the media may send a dangerous message about eating disorders. General fitness and fashion magazines and television shows with thin characters also play a key role in influencing irregular eating patterns of young women. How does the media play a part in that, in your opinion?
I think that without a doubt, the media influences everybody. And it influences young females in the sense that who are their role models, who do they see in terms of who has the highest status in society, and it's going to be attractive, thin females. Television came to Fiji in about 1995. Before there was television in Fiji, there were no reported cases of eating disorders. In fact, it wasn't even a thing to diet. 3 years later, 1998, 11% of Fijian adolescent girls were vomiting to lose weight. So within 3 years of watching Western television, programs like Baywatch, these young girls realized, and when you interviewed them, they said things like, we can see that the skinny women on TV have more status. So they were just trying to catch up. So I think that really sort of says it all in terms of how we're affected by what we see. The MTV Awards when Britney Spears was on and everybody made comments about that she was fat. She obviously was not fat. That's really infuriating to me.
They're calling Britney Spears fat, then what does that mean for me? We are seeing some actors and singers that are giving the right messages, and they're modeling accepting their bodies, and they're not buying into these messages about thinness.
I've gotten some calls from some producers lately who are worried about some celebrities on shows, and I think before they didn't care as long as the ratings were coming in. So I do think it's changing when the fashion industry, when those models died, a model in Brazil died, and it's too bad it took that, but now they're beginning to make some standards in the modeling industry. The more men are having pressure in the Calvin Klein ads and all that stuff, the more we're targeting men in advertisements and all that with the washboard stomach and everything. I think the more eating disorders we have seen and are going to continue to see.
Learning to feed oneself and be at peace with your body is difficult in a society where it seems like what you weigh is more important than who you are. Television, movies, magazines, dysfunctional families, and a society obsessed with being thin are all valid triggers, but you have to see your body as a vehicle to your dreams. Honor it, respect it, fuel it, y sé muy feliz.